Now, the fourth part of the question says the length of the longest side of the triangle is what we want to find. Which side of the triangle do you all think is the longest side of the triangle? And like I'd say, multiple choice, you have a 33% chance of getting it correct. Do you all think the longest side is the base, which is 2x? Do you think the longest side is the height, which is x plus 2? Or do you all think the longest side is the, as Jahim called it, the downhill, right? The downhill, which is 3x minus 2. All right. Randy is going with downhill. Jahim also picked downhill. Downstairs. All right. Yarissa says she doesn't know. Joanna, what do you think? So the boys are all on the 3x minus 2 boot. Which boot are you on? All right, so Joanna going with it downhill as well. So here's how we can tell which side of the triangle is the longest side, right? The correct answer is the downhill. And the reason why the downhill is the longest side, this side is what we call the hypotenuse, right? This is what we call the hypotenuse. So I'm going to write that word in. In trigs, the word hypotenuse is pretty important for a couple of different reasons. One, when we get to trig ratios, that side is going to be one of the sides that you will always be able to recognize quite easily. All right. Now, again, this is something you will only find in a right angle triangle. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right angle triangle. So that's why, as well, when it comes to applying your Pythagoras theorem, your longest side, right? That's the side that would be equal to the sum of the squares of the shorter sides. Okay, so hypotenuse is the longest side in your right angle triangle. And how do you recognize the hypotenuse? Even if your visuals not really able to measure things that are not drawn to scale, the hypotenuse is always opposite to the right angle. So this is the reason why, like I said, this is something that is specific to right angle triangles. Once you have a right angle triangle, the side opposite to your right angle is called the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is the longest side of a right angle triangle. So if I want to determine the length of the longest side, first of all, we need to recognize that the hypotenuse is the 3x minus 2 side. And now from here, we're going to do a little substitution, and we'll be able to get an answer for the length of the hypotenuse. So Yarissa, I know before when I asked the question, you didn't know which side to pick. But does it make sense to you now why we're saying that the 3x minus 2 side is the side that's longest? Good. All right. Let's go get the length of the hypotenuse. So for part 4, the longest side, and I'll just label it L for the time being because I'm just feeling too lazy to write much. The longest side is 3x minus 2. We got the value of x to be 4, so we're going to substitute x as 4 into our expression. 3 4s would give me 12, and 12 take away 2 is going to leave me with 10 centimeters, all right? And we'll get that the length of the longest side is 10 centimeters. Okay. Oh, all right, no problem, Yarissa. Let's move to the next question as well while we're here, all right?